And now, live from Kegel Studios, it's Cooking with Nay, and Murray!
Hey, welcome back! Been a long couple of weeks, folks. We're glad to be back.
Hi.
Cooking with Nay and
Murray! How about that?
who?
Murray! You're silly. I'm silly.
Wouldn't you like to be the
Silly too! Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Alright, so-
check out the page. You get to see Murray tickling the ivories.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
This afternoon. So check that out. Not only is she talented in the kitchen, she's talented in the music room.
I'm
And
not quite so talented in
other
the
places
kitchen.
too. But anyway.
You are funny. Oh, wait.
Wait.
No. No.
You got your apron?
Hold up.
Oh, that's dang! You forgot all about that. Shoot. Here we go.
Take one.
Take one.
Take two. Isn't that funny? Tim got us this, Tim and Amy. I love it. And it's the Nay and Murray show. The director is Tim. Sort of.
The cameraman.
The
is
cameraman is Tim. It is today is the 10:15. Scene one. Take 1,000. All right.
Take one. That's
Tim,
over. You
love
get one
it.
take. Whatever comes. And this is us just.
Being us. So thank you, Tim. That was awfully sweet.
Aw, you're
Put
welcome.
your apron on.
You just-
Hey, I'm going. This is going to be my apron.
Yes, he's.
Look at here.
Lord, I
These
still got the tag on
these
this.
overalls. I've always been fond of overalls. It's just my daddy always. If he wasn't at church or at work, he was around the house all the time. He had a pair of overalls on and he had a hat. So this is kind of in honor of my dear old dad, because this meal kind of reminds me of my dad. We're gonna get into that a little early. Plus, my buddy, old Tiny, he kind of inspired me.
Tiny.
He kind of inspired me with his overall, because you hardly ever see Tiny without overalls on. We got to visit while we were gone.
Yes.
While we were gone these last 2 weeks, the first weekend we were gone, we went up to Blue Ridge and stayed, and Blairsville, and stayed for the weekend up there in the cabin. And we went to visit Tiny and Anthony Coleman. Both of them I went to high school with, and Anthony I worked on the fire department with. And they live on Tusqueedy Creek in Hayesville, North Carolina.
Say that again. What?
Tusqueedy.
Tusqueedy? Are you sure you're saying that right?
Tusqueedy Creek.
Okay. God. Didn't mean to get you all riled up.
We've been looking at a piece of property up there for over 4 years before I got diagnosed with lymphoma. And we've been drawn back up there, and it was sold at one time. It was off the market. The same lot is beautiful. Well, and
Oh, it is. It is pretty much a
and
little
it's right
slice
on
of heaven.
Tusqueedy Creek. We're just upstream about a mile from Amp, and then about 2 miles from Tiny. And there's a lot of other Alpharetta folk that have bought and moving
Wanda
up there.
and Brian
And so anyway, while I was up there, we put an offer in on a piece of property, and it's got a beautiful trout stream, and Tim's about to chomp at the bit because he's a trout fisherman. So
Tim's got to come up there on Thursdays.
you didn't just come over and spend the night trout fishing.
But wait, we put an offer on it,
And they accepted it.
and I wasn't expecting that.
So, but we're doing some due diligence now. We're just happy and pleased with that. The good Lord's blessed us, and
Yes.
let's hope He keeps blessing us that way. Then you tell them about the next weekend. You was going on the little girls' outing to Destin.
Oh yeah, I went to Destin with some of my girlfriends from the neighborhood. Tim's wife being one of them, Amy. Lucky Amy, she got to sleep with me.
And Leanne.
What?
Y'all met Leanne.
Leanne, who did our tomato soup cake.
Can you imagine 13
No,
women?
it was just 11.
11 women in one house. Oh, it'd be like herding cats.
It was, but you know what? Everybody's usually pretty good about doing their, if anybody wants to do their own thing, they do. Nobody gets mad, and that's kind of what we did, and just had a great time. You asked me to tell about it. Now you all right, and I'm going to just let
you
me
just tell
stop.
them. You just tell them about
Stop
it.
me.
Just tell them about it.
No, that's it. We had a good time, although there was a bit of a hurricane going on, and we never got to get in the ocean, unfortunately, because of that. But it was okay. It was pretty. We had a good beach day on Friday, and then Saturday we ate and shopped, so I was in my element.
And before we get started, I have some comments from people. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Absolutely. So Teresa Kennedy
Yes.
loves the overalls.
TK.
Look.
Mwah.
But I like them because look, all the utensils. I got my fork. I got my spoon. I got my whisker.
Your whiskers. Those are whiskers.
Got my nutmeg grater. I got my slotty spoon. I got my ladle.
What else?
And if I had my mallet, my
Oh,
auction
you
now,
don't
I
have
could
your
put it in
auction.
my.
Thank goodness.
But anyway,
So yeah, any other cute comments? Just like that was it.
I was told to ask you about the gnats.
woo!
Who's saying that about
Must
the
be
gnats?
tiny.
Is it either tiny or ant?
It is tiny.
Okay, yeah. Oh my God, y'all. I don't know. They must have like a little gnat season up there. And I'm telling you, when we were walking the property, this is how I walked on the property. Seriously, it was that
They
bad.
say just for about a month.
Holy
In the
cow.
month of, like September, the gnats are bad. They come and they go.
And Tiny did give us some suggestions on ways to avoid the gnats. And because I told Nathan, I'm like, look, if this is how this is going to be, and I'm not good. No, because I am not fighting gnats. It's
Would you
just
rather
not
have
happening.
gnats or snakes?
Oh. I don't know. Probably gnats. I could wear a gnat net or something.
Yeah, can't wear no snake net.
You ain't got no snake net. No.
You wear snake boots.
But Lisa had on her snake boots that day.
Yes, she did.
She did. But I don't think they see snakes up there,
No,
right?
no.
Right?
No, she said they. They
Okay.
said they did.
All
All
right.
right, let's get to the business at hand.
No,
We got some shout outs, and we got.
stuff.
Yeah.
Here, let me just quit bossing me.
You just, good.
So shout out to David Trump for putting that beautiful
No relationship to Donald.
trunk,
Oh, Trump. Excuse
not
me.
trunk, for putting that beautiful bacon
Bacon
wrapped
Yes.
meatloaf picture. And I want to know how that tasted.
Yes.
Because
That
we
was
just saw the picture
delicious.
and that was it. And I would love to know. I bet it was good because I like me some meatloaf for sure. And so that was that shout out for our page. But then we had that little soup thing. And
Here's the.
so here's what's really funny because the first soup on there was pumpkin.
Yum.
Guess how many votes pumpkin soup got?
Zero.
I would have voted for
Goose
pumpkin
egg.
soup.
Well, you should have got on there.
I
and
didn't
voted.
see it.
But I'm sorry, pumpkin.
Pumpkins. No pumpkins.
Anyway, all right. Lentil soup
Lentil.
got 1. Tim's back there giving that a thumbs up too. Chili got 18. Yay!
Yay for chili.
Italian wedding soup got 7. I
Yay.
don't think I've ever had Italian wedding soup.
It's good.
There's no such thing. It's a made up name.
It is
Yeah.
a made up name? Okay. Well, we got the resident Italian back here should know.
No.
The tater soup got 15.
Yeah.
And the veggie beef got 15 also. So the winner was chili
Chili.
and tied up with the soup, was the
Soup du jour.
tater soup and the veggie beef. So thanks for playing along with that. We got a few more that we're going to post here soon.
And we started cooking this because what we're doing tonight, we're doing collards and cornbread. We're going to do a couple varieties of cornbread. We're going to go in that to a little later. But let me just tell you a little story about these collards.
Tell me a story.
Tell me a story about collards. I went to the local proprietor of groceries in our neighborhood, not far from here. And Tim, the place this ain't the same since Garrett left. That's Tim's son. He worked up there.
Shout out to Garrett.
Yeah, shout out to Garrett because
Miss you, Garrett.
he kept that store. I'm trying not to say names because don't want to be disparaging. But anyway, I went up there and I was going to buy some whole, bunches of collards, and I was going to show y'all how to clean them and cut them and chop them and de-stem them. That's a lot of work.
It is.
So I'm kind of glad they didn't have the bunches of collards, because I walked on around the produce department and I found these wonderful collards right here. They're by Baker Farm, and they're Georgia grown. The best thing they are triple washed. So you ain't got to wash them, and they're shredded. They've already been done, cut the stems out of them and shredded. Saves you a lot of work. I'm telling you, they're down here in Colquitt County, Norman Park, Georgia, and
it's bakerfamilyproduce.com, and they've got a Facebook page. Y'all go give them some love.
I reached out to them in an email, and we kind of had a little correspondence back and forth. And I'm telling you what, good people, go to the Lannis Farmer Market. I think they're there most every weekend. I think I've got a schedule. They send me what's coming in when, and I'm trying to post it. But go to the Lannis Farmer Market. We're gonna go down there and maybe shoot this an episode, walk around the farmers market.
I think we should.
And we're gonna go down there, and we're gonna meet the Baker Farms guys down there.
Baker family
guys
I'm
down
all
there.
over that. That sounds like a fun show.
So, but anyway, I cooked the collards last night, because let me just tell you, folks.
Just tell us.
This new generation said, you can cook them for 45 minutes or whatever. It's kind of like going to the restaurant and ordering green beans, and they serve you those whole green beans that they've only sauteed for about 2 minutes, and they still crunchy. That ain't my mama's green beans. You may like them, Tim, but my mama, she snapped them beans. She cooked them in hog jowl, pig fat, salt back, and whatever, and she cooked them till they tasted good. And
that was nice and soft.
So I cooked these collards, and I put some smoked ham in there.
Here, we got.
Read it off, everybody.
Yeah, we got a bag of Baker Farms collards and 2 tablespoons of oil.
Lard.
Oh, lard.
Lard.
Well, you wrote. What did you say?
I said, gee, look.
Lard, Jack.
Tell them why I use lard.
Okay, we use lard.
Tell
we did
them
not
why.
use oil. We use lard because we can.
I can.
But you can use whatever you want. Crisco, olive oil, whatever. 2 tablespoons of it. Then we had an 8-ounce bag of smoked ham. It was already pre-cooked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Smoke.
4 cloves of minced garlic, which you can buy that garlic that's already minced
Goya.
up. We used Goya brand. And 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper,
And 6
cups of chicken broth.
And while I was
And we just cooked the daylights out of them.
while I was at the other
And then we dropped
neighborhood
it on the floor.
proprietor today of groceries, the new one, up the road, they actually had smoked ham hock.
Well, how about that?
So I put a smoked ham on, and I turned these things on about 4:30 and just let them simmer today. And they taste wonderful. I've already had to break into them.
I have not tasted them, but they do smell good. As a kid, you couldn't have paid me to eat collards or turnips or anything like that, but I don't know. I guess my taste buds have matured.
So the collards are ready. Yeah.
It's the overalls.
I tell you what, I'm doing.
Well, let's see. I believe that says Tim is the director around here.
I'm the assistant. So I cut you off. Chop.
Let me get my choppers out.
Well, just chop
I'm
that.
not chopping that.
Why?
Because it's hot.
No, this one's not.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, you get all the nasty out for me and I'll be happy to chop it up.
This is one of my sweet heat. Ooh, how about dropped it in the garbage? This is one of my sweet heat peppers
Right.
that
Or
out
you
of our
just
little
throwing it everywhere.
patio garden. We're just gonna chop it up because we're making Mexican cornbread. But the thing you don't know yet is we're making waffle cornbread.
What?
Waffle cornbread. If you've never had waffle cornbread, you'll never eat it most any other way.
I'm telling you, it is so good. Yes, we actually did that a couple of years back. Okay.
So we're making Mexican cornbread and we're making
sweet potato cornbread too.
How about that?
We're making 2 different kinds.
All right,
So,
chopper.
but right now we're going to do the Mexican. But what are you doing first?
I'm putting in 2 cups of cornmeal.
All right. So
Like
while you're
chop.
doing that, I'm going to choppity chop. You love doing this so much.
And let me tell you a little something about cornmeal. Cornmeal predates the European settlers. The Native Americans have been using cornmeal for years, maize, but cornmeal, like we was talking, Italy even has the cornmeal, and it's called polenta. Is that not correct?
That is, you are correct, sir.
And but we're using white lily.
What?
White lily.
Cornmeal
Mix here. And I'm telling you, if I'm eating up straight up cornbread, I don't want no. You go out and get cornbread some places and they put sugar in it and flour. That's cake.
I kind of like it.
I like mixing just straight up
cornbread.
You know, but we're doing some variations. And this is going to have the sweet. They're going to have some brown sugar in it. But anyway.
All right, so what you doing now? You putting in 2 cups of, a quarter cup of lard.
Why?
Because we can.
That's right.
And apparently
This
it's the healthy version.
The nectar of pig.
I wish I had a sound effect for arteries hardening.
Oh, I thought you were going to, yeah.
The nectar of pig.
How's that? Okay, so you got your lard in there. What now? Ooh, I know what now.
What now?
Right now we're going to put in 2 eggs. Do y'all see these beautiful eggs? Oh my gosh, they are fresh
They're
eggs.
like Easter eggs.
They are right almost from the chicken's butt. Well, it
You ever
is.
seen the eggplant?
No.
Huh?
Yes, I have seen an
You
eggplant.
been that far up a chicken's butt? Two eggs here, folks.
But those eggs are from our friends Kip and Andrea Duke, who live in Jefferson.
Ooh.
Lard?
Save that egg.
Barely. And so she's always so kind to give us fresh eggs. What are you doing? Well, you've just been spilling
I'm
stuff
telling you.
everywhere tonight. What's up with that?
I'm just going to lay that.
That's fine. Just do that.
Do
That's
that.
why we
fine.
have that paper on there. Okay,
Huh.
next. Next, we have the 3 tablespoons of
No.
chopped red peppers, or no?
I'm going to mix this up.
Okay.
Probably about a cup and a half of buttermilk. Let me just check this buttermilk up. And I always mix cornbread with my hand. I'm sorry, my hands are clean, so y'all just gonna have to. It's just the way I.
You don't measure it. You just put it in
No, it's
there.
about a cup.
Okay.
Start out with about a cup. Just
Work it in. Here,
Yeah.
are you done with this right here?
yeah, but you're not.
Okay, I'm just gonna move it out of the way, so right over here. if that's
While
all
you're
right.
mixing, it's going to be some comment time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, let's
All
have
right.
some comments.
Well, JB Dorman says, love you guys.
Oh, we love you too, Joreen.
Valerie Moat says,
Hey, Valerie.
I am with you, Nene. Don't mess with my cornbread.
Yeah.
And Samuel A. Power says, Mama made crackling cornbread and sometimes onion too.
Yes. Let me just tell you about
Cracklings.
cornbread was a staple of the South. You know, back in hard times, and my daddy, I mean, I'm just one generation removed from this. He was raised up a sharecropper. I mean, he lived in shack. He didn't really like to talk about it a lot, you know, but he was raised up in shacks. He said he could see the stars through the ceiling and chickens through the floor. and just one step from being an indentured servant. And it's pretty much what they were. And but this is what they're staple, because they got to, they. Could you imagine plowing 20 acres with a mule? In a turning plow that just cuts about 15, 18 inches. And that's why he quit school in the 8th grade, so his daddy could run 2 mules. Him one run and my daddy run a mule. And I'm adding
a small can. An 8.25 ounce can of cream corn. So your daddy had they worked hard back in the day. My parents were the same way. I mean, they were on a farm. I mean, and they had cows. They had a garden. They had cotton. They picked cotton. They did everything.
And growing up, Dad taught all us boys how to raise a garden. How to butcher a hog. How to butcher chickens, and we'd take corn. There was a grist mill left up at Bice's store, which was
my grandpa's cousin ran Bice's store
up in Birmingham community. It's Milton now, but it's Birmingham. And when you took your corn up here, we'd probably take about 6-10 bushels up there. And the way you paid to have your meal ground, they do it on halves. So if you took 6 bushels of shucked corn up there, they'd grind it up, and Mr. Bice take 3 bushels, and we'd get 3 bushels, and Mr. Bice would bag it up, put it in the store, and sell it. And that's how he made his money off of but I mean, I can remember that as a kid. So I mean, it's not too far.
You know what's crazy is, I bet you, when you were in there selling your corn, I was probably in there eating me a little moon pie and drinking a little RC Cola.
Probably.
Seriously.
I don't know. We've crossed paths many a time.
Star-crossed lovers.
And so now I've chopped up 2 jalapenos out of our little patio garden. But I'm only going to add about 1.
Well, are you putting this in there?
I am.
Okay. Do you want the whole thing in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we have a question. Maybe you can answer from Melba Bruce.
Hey, Melba.
Why do we call it a pone of cornbread? Do you know?
Hey, Google.
Pone.
I don't know. Do you know?
Pone is a slang for, I think, a slang for pan. It's just pone of cornbread, kind of like yarn. It's a southern slang.
I'm gonna guess. Yeah.
Corn, it's kind of pie is squared, cornbread is round. But
squared?
The pie is square, but no,
cornbread. Oh, you're like talking mathematically.
Cornbread is squared, pie is round. But anyway,
you're square. We don't know, Melba. I think he's just kind of making that up. But I tell you what, we'll find out when this is over with. Unless somebody has got some time, you can go look it up for us and let us know in the comments why we know it's pone.
But talking about my dad, I'm like I say, wearing overalls and hat, kind of memory of him. But 8th grade education, and ended up being the vice president of a multi-million-dollar company. And
salty.
So I mean, that's where a lot of this country's gone wrong today. They have to get a college degree when there's kids out there that's got a great head on their shoulders and knows how to do stuff, and they don't have the opportunity to get in positions like that because they don't have that degree. But anyway.
But I think you can do just fine without a college degree. I did. I think I did pretty well for myself.
Now I'm adding cracklings.
Let me get rid of that.
I'm adding, if you never had crackling cornbread,
it's salty.
And all it is fried pig fat.
Wow.
Yum. And now we have an answer.
Oh, yes. What's our answer?
So from Tiny.
Tiny. Of course it's from Tiny.
So the answer is pone bread, a baked or fried bread usually made of cornmeal. And there you have it.
Thank you, Tiny Adams.
Now you know the rest of the story.
That's right.
So
Cheese.
I decided, you know.
Just what? You just put a little handful of those.
Yeah, I mean, the taste or whatever. And you can even sprinkle some on top before you shut the.
Before you shut the lid.
Yeah.
How much cheese you want? Just however much I want to put. It says a half a cup, but I'm just.
Yeah, just eyeball. Give me
I think it needs just
a little more.
Yeah.
Can't have too much cheese. Kind of like bacon.
That's right.
So now we're just gonna mix all this
That
good.
enough?
Yeah, that's good. We're gonna mix all this goodness up.
Mix it up, man. That's gonna be so good. Hey, should I heat up my sweet potatoes?
Yeah, go ahead and do that because I'm gonna wash.
You gonna wash your hands?
So go ahead and
Put the sweet potatoes in this.
yeah. I'm gonna keep talking while you got them little bits.
Dead space. Now would be the time for a good joke. So tell us a good joke, Nathan.
There was these two peanuts walking down the road.
Oh, I heard about that. And they went down this long, dark alley, and one of them was assaulted. Ha ha! I think we've told that joke before.
So it's the only clean joke I've never been good at remembering jokes.
Me neither.
But
Tim, you got any good jokes?
None I could tell on the air.
Oh, come on.
but I will tell you, I mean, just going back to cornbread. I mean, it was a sure enough staple of the South, and even because corn, they didn't have a lot. They didn't raise a lot of wheat in the South back in the day.
You just
Still
say
don't.
Weed or
Wheat.
Wheat.
And but corn was plentiful, and so they had a lot of cornbread, and they had a lot of lard.
Wow.
And most everybody had cows, so they had buttermilk. So it was a pretty much a staple. And even that, a lot of times they'd feed their dogs. They'd call it dog bread, and they just mix up some lard and cornmeal instead of using milk. They just use water, and it'd be kind of dry, but they'd feed the dogs. You know, what they call dog bread. Just because it was plentiful and dogs needed to eat too. And so what she's doing, we had a
Burning herself is what she's doing.
baked potato. We're gonna mix up the potato, sweet potato cornbread. If y'all never had sweet potato cornbread, you gonna wish you had.
Yeah, you are. They're gonna be storming the front door over here.
And but you know, sweet potatoes and collards kind of go together. You know, you have sweet potato souffle, and this is kind of like this is the savory, and that's kind of this is kind of a savory.
Yeah,
sweet,
it's gonna be more of a sweet. I feel like.
but it's still delicious.
It's hot,
and it'll still be good with collards. Pour you pot liquor. You know what pot liquor is? And it's not L-I-C-K-E-R, it's L-I-K-K-E-R. Pot liquor, because you lick the pot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Anyway.
Grab that butter out of the microwave for me. Oh, never mind. You got nasty hands. Lard.
All right, tell them some stories, Mary Jane.
Well, let's see. What can I tell y'all? I should have cooked another sweet potatoes so I can tell y'all, because I don't feel like there's going to be enough sweet potato on here. But we're just going to make do with it anyway, aren't we?
We are.
Tim, tell us a story. What did y'all do while we were gone on girls' trip?
Well, let me see. We slept in, and we didn't make the bed, and the garbage piled up, and the dishes were in the sink, and we played poker.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how about that?
Yeah.
See, look, I didn't get enough. That's not enough sweet potato,
Yeah.
is it?
It's going to be. That's all
It's
we
gonna
got.
have to be.
We got another one. We didn't cook
Well,
it,
that's
so
okay. All right, so now
2 cups of cornmeal.
let's do that. Let's get our cornmeal in here on top of it.
And this is just a recipe that I just kind of came up was one night we were just sitting around. We had some
It was a snow day,
We had some sweet potato. I said, how about some sweet potato cornbread?
and it worked out just
Yep.
fine, didn't it?
And now you're gonna put. You can use a whisk if you
I'll
want.
just use my hands. That's all right. Can I do my eggs?
Yep. 2 eggs. Half a cup of butter. Or not, yeah.
I got my butter.
A quarter cup of butter.
Uh-oh, that one's so tough. All right, butter.
And that's a quarter cup of melted butter. 2 cups of cornmeal, 2 eggs.
Mm-hmm.
1 sweet baked potato.
Wow, that's
Like I
so
say, you
good.
probably need to use a bigger one, but hey, we
That's
just,
all right.
and this is a
And
half cup of brown sugar.
packed.
Oh, let me get my nutmeg. See, look, I got my
Look at you with the nutmeg shredder. Go ahead and shred me up a little.
grater.
You know what? Why don't you just shred it right into here? Because we can kind of eyeball that.
All right, get you some cinnamon.
All right, how much cinnamon? Where's the cinnamon on here? 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Just doing my teaspoon. This is going to be pretty tasty.
So how much nutmeg are you putting in there?
A teaspoon.
A teaspoon, okay.
Yeah, that's probably about a teaspoon. Just a little extra for good measure.
Yeah, just some. Actually, the last when we made this, the snow day, we didn't put nutmeg in it, but this was kind of a last minute thing that
We had this fresh nutmeg. I said,
we are
"Let's
using it because we can. What about lard?
No, you got
Not
the butter.
put lard in
You
here?
got the butter.
Okay, so how much milk?
Well, go ahead.
Get this going.
Yeah. I thought you were going to use your hand.
I thought I was too, but
And while she's getting that all mixed up, she's going to put some milk. I'm going to go ahead and
yeah,
get one of these bad boys over here fired up.
I am going to use my hands. This is a mess, Nathan. Good night. Would you just look at this mess?
Lord, you just got a big old wad of it in
I
there.
do. I am going to use my hands. I knew there was a reason.
So I got my handy dandy
Dipper.
dipper, and we're just going to fill this waffle iron. Let me turn this thing to the side so y'all can see.
Man, this smells really good here.
We're just going to close that bad boy up and flip her over. When that green light comes on,
Where'd we get that waffle iron? Ah, our little Lindsay Lou gave us that for Christmas one year, didn't she?
I think so. But,
How much milk on these?
Just need to make it soupy.
All right, well, you can pour it in if you don't mind. Ooh, that's a little chilly on my hands. So yeah, Nathan was raised just a hair differently than I was. Although our parents pretty much were the same as far as working hard and knowing how to do stuff. Like he said, you know, he could plant a garden and butcher a hog. And I know how to
Play the piano.
play the piano. I told Nathan, I mean, if things were to ever go sideways in this country and we had to go back to like the roots and stuff, I'm definitely going to be a liability. There is no doubt about that.
That's what my daddy always told us, you know, because he grew up in hard times, hard scrabble times. And he said, you know, at that time in the 60s, I mean, life was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, we had a pretty good life. And he says, but son, boys, y'all never know if you ever gonna have to use this again. He says, and I want y'all to know. He said, times get bad. He said, y'all be able to take care of yourself. And the bad thing about my generation, we didn't pass it on to our children. And that's one reason this country's in the shape it is, because we didn't pass those ethics and stuff on to the next generation. And we don't have anybody to blame but ourselves. You know, but, you know, you talk about this world. I mean, this world, this country I mean, it's torn apart nowadays. And it's not torn. It's not because of a Republican or a Democrat. It's because this country has turned its back on God, become a godless country. And I'm telling you, folks, for you want to get this country back on track, you start praying, you start going back to church, start reading the Bible. And I'll tell you what, if everybody did it, this country would be a lot better place. And that's my soapbox tonight.
Well, I think it's a pretty good soapbox. Well, how's that? Oh, it's not green yet. Okay, so I'm ready. My stuff's ready here.
Well, let's draw the prize while we're...
We're going to draw, y'all.
You know, everybody that watched the collard green episode last night, we told you to put watched, and we got a
little prize. I got a little prize from Pampered Chef. Speaking of, having a little Pampered Chef party, so if you want to attend or want to invite, please let me know. I'll be happy to send one to you. There's no pressure. You don't have to buy anything.
Alright.
Okay, did you get one? Oh my goodness, Natalie Sanders.
Natalie Sanders,
Alright.
you're the big winner.
Yeah, you're the big winner. Yeah, you're winning a citrus peeler and a bell pepper scoop.
How about that?
I don't have it downstairs. I should have brought it down here so I could demonstrate, but it is the perfect thing to clean, like when you're making stuffed peppers or pepper jelly, as we did. You cut the top off and this little scoop just takes it right out with no problem whatsoever. So, Matt, I'll get that to you soon. So, yay, thanks for playing along with that. We'll probably have some more giveaways in the next couple of shows. So, now what? Now what are we going to do?
We're going to wait for that waffle to get through cooking.
Well, how about that? How about I tidy up a little bit here? What's this for?
That's for the collards.
Oh.
You cannot eat collards
without pepper sauce.
Without pepper sauce. And this is, this is some of the pepper sauce that I put up myself.
It's so good too, y'all.
I'm telling you. I put it up, I put some up last year, and I was always disappointed because the little rings of pepper would get soggy. And so I got a new recipe this year. And, you know, you just got, these are hot banana peppers. And vinegar and water as a ratio. And then I put some minced garlic in the bottom and some dill weed and,
oh my God,
and some turmeric.
So good.
And turmeric and then you put, you know, you stuff your peppers in there, pour your hot vinegar and water mixture, and then you put a little Stay Crisp.
What?
Stay Crisp granulars from, and it's put out by Ball Canning Company. Does it, makes jars, and this little, and it keeps your peppers or pickles crisp. And I didn't put them in the hot bath. You just turn them upside down until it seals, and you hear them pop. And I'm telling you, that's some good stuff right there.
It is. It's delicious. We put it on everything. I mean, like, I'll put those peppers and stuff on sandwiches, and oh, they're so good. All right.
All right, here we go. We're ready.
We green.
Look here.
Green with envy.
Woo!
That is going to be so delicious. There's 4 pieces to it. If somebody from the hood wants to sneak over, we'll have an extra one that you can have.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cook one of the sweet taters.
Oh, we need a different ladle for that, don't we?
Yeah,
that one's a little small, but it should work. Let me move these over, and actually we'll just make some more of those afterwards. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to try this because y'all, it does smell pretty heavenly. You didn't fill it all the way up.
And a mush.
Get a mush.
Well, it needs to be evenly distributed.
It's going to come out the sides now.
Well,
But
so be it. That looks fabulous.
get us a knife, we'll cut that up, and that way all 3 of us can have a piece of it. And I got it. We'll just pick it up and take
I
a bite
want to
of it
wait until
now.
we have
Yeah.
our collars. How about that?
You could put
do
some
that?
butter on it.
Excuse me?
You could put some butter on it.
I guess I could.
Butter makes everything better, is what I've always been told.
That's
That's
what
why my mama, she lived by that. Butter makes everything better.
Your mother, I tell you what, she was a card.
And
If there was ever a card, it was her.
and a cook.
Yes.
I'm telling you, she wasn't a chef. I mean,
She was a cook.
she was a cook, and she cooked from the heart.
She sure did. That woman probably cooked more meals for more preachers and oh my gosh, I'm telling you. And just whip it up at the last minute. Your dad would probably come home and say, so and so's coming over for dinner, about 8 or 9 of them, and she'd have dinner. And I'd be taking y'all out to eat if that was me.
But I mean, we had a freezer. I mean, we had a big chest freezer. I mean, because we had a big garden. I mean, we had everything you could think of: green beans, butter beans, peas,
Dried apples. Oh my God, your mother had the best dried apples.
corn. I mean, everything: radishes, cabbage, lettuce, just about everything.
I bet they didn't go to the grocery store too much.
No, and like I say, we killed a hog just about in the winter, and when I was younger, we kind of got out of the chicken. We had cows, and so we always had a freezer full, so she could just go to the freezer. I mean, now the meat and stuff. I mean, she'd need to set it out, have time for it to defrost because they didn't have no microwaves back in. But anyway, I mean, I can remember going to the grocery store with Mama. Reeves is, down there in Roswell. Reeves' grocery store. And I had a little video boy. And that's back when they put the bag boys would bring the bags out and put them in the car. You tip them like 25 cents back then. But I can remember Mama getting a receipt and going, $25. I'm talking about she had a bunch of groceries. And,
$25 today will get you some toilet paper and paper towels.
But she was
and bread.
She was just fuming that she had to spend $25 on all them groceries.
But you didn't like going to the grocery store much, did you?
Why?
Because she would talk.
Well, she liked to talk to strangers or anybody.
That was one thing about your mother. She
Never met a stranger.
She did not meet a stranger, and she was always for the underdog.
But
Always.
down there in Roswell, I mean, that's where she was born and raised. Daddy was born and raised up there in Milton or Alpharetta. But Mama was raised down, so she knew everybody. And her daddy had, growing up, he had a shoe shop right across the street from Reeves there on Canton Street. He was a cobbler. And so she knew everybody. And, you go to the grocery store and to the, whatever stores down there. I mean, it was an all day. The one I hated worst was going to the fabric store. Because there wasn't nothing to do at the fabric store. And she would spend hours looking at fabric and whatever, because she's going to make her dress. And she never made us boys in many clothes, but she made a lot of dresses for herself.
I bet you she'd have had a little girl, she'd have made her all kinds of clothes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
She probably made
well,
some of your kids
oh, yeah,
some
she
clothes.
did. She made the girls' clothes for sure.
My granny did that too. She made all my Barbie dolls' clothes too.
And, but I used to love to go to Sutton's Five and Dime. It was next to the next to the fabric store. There was Five and Dime. And boy, I could just stay in there and look at all the toys and but Mama would spend an hour at each place talking. Go to the fabric store, go to the Five and Dime, go to the
grocery,
Western Auto, go to the grocery store, go to the clothes store. And it was an all day thing because most times she'd go by and pick up Granny Parker, So
that's not Mrs. Cagle.
No, that was her mama. She lived down there Oak Street in Roswell. But
how's that coming along? Boy, it sure does smell good. Tim, can you smell it?
I sure can.
I'm telling you, it smells like
But as soon as this is done, we're gonna go ahead and there it is.
It's as soon as it's done. How about that? Speak of.
We're gonna.
Wow.
I think this is gonna be more like brown sugar.
That's a pretty one.
Oh
You
gosh,
need to put some
Tim,
butter on
you
that.
need to
Like
come
you
and-
could put some ice
I wish,
cream on
Tim,
it.
I know you have to step out behind the camera, but you need to come take a picture of this. This is beautiful.
Phil.
I'm just gonna cook another one while we're.
Oh, I
tasting.
took it away. I'm sorry. You'll have to. Oh, wait just a minute.
Oh, you're good.
How about that? I mean, that's some pretty cornbread right there, y'all. I wish y'all could smell it. Again,
Smell-o-vision.
That is going to be so good. I hope it's good. I'm really disappointed that I did not get enough sweet potato in it, but I don't know how you can go wrong because this smells heavenly. So you going to dish up
I'm
some
gonna dish
collards?
up some collards.
All right. You do that thing.
Hot. Got them in my cast iron, handy dandy cast iron Dutch oven here. And gotta get some of that pot liquor. And man, they smell so good.
Mayonnaise. Oh my goodness. Oh, they do. They look actually pretty good. Let me take these over. Get these out of your way.
Keep on to say Baker's.
Baker
Farm.
Baker Farm.
And I got these, I'll tell you, I got these at Kroger, so if you go to Kroger, that's where they came from.
Nice.
Publix didn't have the Baker Farm, but K. Roger did. And
Got your forks.
there you go, folks.
Oh my goodness, it smells delicious.
So come
Tim,
on
do
over.
you mind if I put yours together for you?
Please do.
If I touch it?
Please.
I just got to take a bite of this sweet tater before I do anything else.
Oh, man, this is a
Here.
meal. No, this is
Wait.
good. I'm going to try the cornbread first.
Put your plate.
Try
Now.
this
How is it?
sweet potato cornbread.
But the crackling cornbread is awesome.
All right.
I'm have to take a bite of it now.
It's hot.
Burn your hair off your
I
tongue.
do.
These collards probably will too. Oh,
You want some hot
damn,
sauce?
you got it.
Pepper sauce in that? How much? Just whatever. And would you like a bottle of water? Okay.
And if some of those peppers fell on there, that wouldn't be a bad thing
Okay.
either.
There's a gnat in here. Tiny, did you send that gnat down here? Let me get you a bottle of water.
Thank you.
But yeah, you got to,
Look who's here. Now the food's being served up. Jack's down here.
you got to have the peppers, the pepper sauce, the collards. And that just makes it to me.
You got water, baby? Jackie. No, sir. No, sir.
Wow.
How's
Adrian
that?
Emery says, looks yummy. I'm going to have to try some cornbread in the waffle iron.
It's perfect. I'm telling you, instead of making, I mean, of course, it's always great to cook cornbread and, you know, cast iron skillet, but this is like the perfect size.
And it makes it really crunchy, crispy. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could put the cornbread in the bottom of your bowl, and if you like that, if you like to cover up your cornbread with You collard greens, you can do that.
Nap.
Can't
I
see
ain't
them,
sent them
Jimmy.
gnats down.
I'm telling you, Tiny, take your naps back. Y'all, this is delicious.
Mm.
I wish you could have a bite. I'm not sure which is my favorite. Jack, what are you doing? Come here, buddy. He's like, yeah, I'm coming here. Come here. Let's show everybody how cute you are. Say hey to everybody. Say hey. Y'all like my bow tie?
Alright. So here we go.
Here we go. I hadn't even tried the
We
collar.
got collards from Baker Farm. Triple washed, Georgia grown. Delicious. Delicious. I'm telling you. And they grow everything from kale to turnips to any kind of leafy beets. I got a whole list of stuff. So look them up. They're on our Facebook page. Check them out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Delicious. Wow, there's a little kick to that too.
you put you some of that pepper salt
I
on there.
did, but I just put a little bit. Tim, is yours too hot?
But the Mexican cornbread, well, the Mexican cornbread's got a bite in it too because it's got the jalapenos. And, but man, the crunchiness, and you get the cheese and a little hint of that buttermilk.
Mm-hmm.
It's just absolutely divine.
I'm gonna swallow.
Get all the greens out of my teeth.
I got any in mine?
So,
Got another one ready? Here, right there on there. Is that the Mexican?
yeah.
That's fine. That's hot.
Hot as a sweet tater. I was gonna,
Finish it off. Tim can take that home with him. Amy's like, yeah, you can. Well, alright, so let's do this. We got collards and a gnat. We got our sweet potato cornbread, Mexican cornbread, and you know, you could probably pretty much just add whatever you really wanted to put in some
And
cornbread.
if you just
come
want
up with
straight
something.
up cornbread, just use
Just
straight up cornbread. So, but yeah, you could add or whatever you want to.
I'm a little, I have to say, I can't taste the,
Oh, I can.
you can taste the sweet potato in it. I really feel like you probably, with as much batter and stuff as we have, we probably needed 2. But we can pretend like there's 2 in there, right?
Mm-hmm. But that little hint of nutmeg.
Mm-hmm. That just sits it right over the edge, doesn't it?
And it, I'm telling you, I'm gonna put.
I wonder how that would
Yeah.
be. Sweet and hot. Mmm. That's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Well, y'all, it's been real.
It's
It's been fun. It's been delicious. And we're just really glad to be back. Glad you all tuned in.
And folks, I had a scan done Tuesday. Check up for my lymphoma, and so I know I've asked for prayer before, and I just continue. You remember me in your prayers. I would appreciate it. I don't hear anything from the doctor till next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. So just hope for and pray for good things, and because it's just like buying this land. You know, I'm not going to let cancer rule my life. You know, it hasn't slowed me down much.
About 0.
And, you know, and anybody out there battling it, I'm on your side, and I'll pray for you.
All you gotta do is ask, because we certainly, we couldn't have gone through this battle that we've gone through without it. You know what?
I mean, the good Lord has been on our side and blessed us beyond measure.
Yeah.
And I just hope we can share a little bit of that love that we have with our Lord and Savior with y'all, because it's a good thing, folks. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
Couldn't do this life without it.
No,
So
you just go to the Lord in prayer. Is all I'm gonna say. How about that?
how about that? I sure do love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.
And in the words of
My sweet, loving, beautiful, classy Mama Jane Castleos Glennis Bice Gilliland, y'all be somebody. Mama would whip me. She said it like that. Y'all be somebody.
And in the words of my dear old dad, I talked about him a good bit tonight. I mean, he's an amazing person.
I know it. I wish every one of y'all could have met his dad.
I mean, to pastor at one time back in the 50s and 60s, he was kind of like a circuit preacher. He'd pastor 4 churches, and they just only meet like on Sunday or Sunday nights or whatever. But and he was just a circuit preacher. But he preached the gospel. A servant of God.
He didn't just preach the gospel. He
lived
the gospel. There is no doubt about that.
And he loved his family.
Mm-hmm.
He worked 40, 50, 60 hours a week at the National Library Bindery. Like I say, worked his way up to vice president of a multi-million-dollar company. And 8th grade education. And never went to seminary, but he knew that Bible probably better than any seminary professor ever around. And I'm telling you, amazing man.
Sure
and,
was.
I love him, and I miss him every day. And with that said, anytime that my daddy would see you, most time, if it's the first time he met you, or his grandkids, anytime he left, he'd say, I love you, and don't you forget it. And we love you,
and don't you forget it.
Yeah. See y'all next week. Love y'all. And I'm going to finish eating my collard.
Me too. And Tim too.